Hallo miteinander, I'm Geshady6 and this is Toy Story. Yes, this Let's Play still does exist. It's been a while, hasn't it? 10 weeks maybe, but we're back. If you remember last time, Woody and Buzz have become lost toys, but they've also located Andy at the Pizza Planet. So they're trying to stealth their way back in. And of course they have found some masterful disguises that would make even Ethan Hunt really jealous. So, upcoming level should be a piece of cake, shouldn't it? Well, actually yes, it kind of is. It's really not a very hard level, especially compared to what we've seen before, like Run Rex Run. It's a pretty nasty stage. However, as a good change of pace, the controls for this are actually very unusual. They're unusually tight. Screen scrolls at a decent, not too quick rate. So you feel like you're really in control for this part. It's really good. I really like it that way. Would have been nice to have more of this, but alas. Anyway, one of the first hazards in this level are the hot dogs, burgers and fries. It's like the game is trying to be educational. Remember, kiddos, fast food is bad for you. Don't have it fall on your head. Yeah, kind of like a PSA, right? What's much more dangerous are these cola cans. You need good timing to get past them. And what's also a bit more dangerous are these kids that are running by. However, the kids are more of a one-trick pony. You can see the paper airplanes flying by whenever you see one. Kid is about to appear. So just duck down and you'll be safe. However, there is one more danger in this level, and it's more of an invisible danger. You're not gonna see much of it. Buzz is actually following you around, and if you dawdle for too long, he will catch up and he will bump into Woody, which is actually a direct reference to the movie itself, where Buzz did just that. And Woody got damaged and he died. The end. No, actually not. That's not quite what happened, but it can happen in this game. Apart from that, really cool level. I like it a lot. It doesn't have any checkpoints, but it also doesn't really need any. What you have to watch out for most are the double cola cans that are coming out of some dispensers like this one. Timing for those is really tight, and as you can see I messed up here. But that was this pretty easy level. On to the next one. Next up, the claw machine. Now if you remember the movie, Woody went after Buzz into the claw machine by going up the prized chute. And then he was immediately in the pool with the little green men. It's not quite as simple as that in the game. This whole scene is stretched out over 3 levels that make up the rest of the set. And this first one is, in my opinion, the very first difficult platforming level of the game. Of course, the ones that will come later are gonna be even harder. However, this one is still quite respectable. It has some jumping puzzles like this one that are actually not all that punishing, because if you fall down, all you have to do is try it again. However, the level still has some other tricks and hazards, like these coin tubes. And if you remember from past episodes, money kills. Yes, Woody has become another victim of capitalism, the bane of our society. But enough about my ramblings. We're gonna have to do this bit over again. No problem, it was only very short. But speaking of doing things over again, there is actually a very harsh difference between the European and North American version of Toy Story. I played the European one as a kid, and that one is actually much easier. Why is it much easier? Well, for once you have an extra continue right at the start, so you basically have more lives to begin with. And apart from that, the European has a password system, while the North American doesn't. So the levels that you get passwords for are 5, 9, 13 and 16. And that is quite a handy thing, because you really don't have to worry all that much about running out of lives. If you lose everything in the North American version, it's back to square one. I feel kind of spoiled playing the European version now that I know this. Really had it so easy like that. Because of that, I never really saw Toy Story as a really hard game, but I guess for Americans it is. Now this bit here is a little bit tricky. These exploding power cells, I guess, are not really a problem if they're on a level with you, but if you're going up a shaft like this, they're really difficult. Now, coming after this checkpoint is a neat little trick that the game pulls. The only secret wall in the whole game. It leads to an extra life and a star, so that's always handy. Well, past this checkpoint, we're gonna find more of these exploding power cells. I have no idea what the deal is with those. Why do they explode when Woody comes close to them? Are they allergic to cowboys? You know, if they had a commercial for these things, what would it be like? Energizer. The long-lasting battery. It keeps going and going until it sees a plastic cowboy and explodes. Not really the best product strategy, if you ask me. Oh, we took another hit there. We're on our last hit point now. That's not good, especially because the hardest part of the level, pretty much the one where I always get hit, is gonna come up in a bit. It's actually the very final trap of the level. And it has to do with the fans that you have already seen. Those are really the worst. But at the same time, I really appreciate this level for having them. Do you know why? It makes me feel like a celebrity. I'm surrounded by all these aggressive fans. Badumshk. Anyway, this last trap is right after this staircase. It's a little bit tedious, but nothing special. But this here, it's 3 fans in a row. First one is easy, but the second one, the more I watch it, the dizzier I get. And I get hit anyway. So let's have a little bit of a jump cut here. And we're back. There's really no reason to show you that 1 minute bit that we've already seen before. Because we died right at the end of the level. I can give you one hint for this upcoming part, and that is, if you do get hit by the second one, I always do, just keep running for it, because you will use the blinking frames to get past the third one at least. The next level we're up against may actually be the strangest level in the game. You might not be thinking that it is still the same game that we're playing, but I can assure you it is still Toy Story on the Super Nintendo. The level is called Really Inside the Claw Machine. Sounds like a really bad porn movie if you ask me. Not that I know a whole lot about porn movies, mind you. No, what are you thinking? But anyway, yes, we are playing a first-person not shooter. Our objective is to collect 4 of these aliens and bring them back to our starting point. We can only hold one of them at a time, so we constantly have to go back and forth. There are no hazards in this level, but it is timed, and if time's up, we lose a life. Still, it's not a very difficult one. You'll get the hang of it quickly. Though not as quickly as you might imagine, because the controls of this level are weird. You know what I think was down here? A saloon. Because Woody controls like he's had a few. Seriously, I don't know quite how to describe it, but if you're turning your head, imagine your neck had ice physics. And that is this level. Yeah. The level is actually quite simple. It is basically just a tunnel with 4 aliens hidden somewhere. The Genesis version of this level is actually much more intricate. It's got several chambers, twice the amount of aliens to find, and yeah, it just seems a lot more polished than this. I don't know if it were technical limitations of the Super Nintendo, but it really feels much more like a tech demo in this. Really more like an experiment that's just something half-assed. But no matter. At least it's easier than the Genesis one. You might be wondering, how do you get stars in this level? There's stars in every level of Toy Story, even this one. And it depends on your timer. If you have more than 25 seconds remaining, you'll get all 50 stars. If you have less time than that, you have the remaining time times 2 in stars. It's not really hard to get all the stars in the level, if you're somewhat familiar to it. Just like in previous videos, we're going to end this set of levels with a boss battle. It is a monstrous, a horrifying opponent. It is... a claw! Ah! Well, it's not quite as bad as that claw, but close. Very close. When I was a kid, this fight really gave me a lot of trouble. It really burned through my lives, and it will probably take you a while until you get used to the timing. The basic idea is kind of the same as in Buzz Battle. You have to whip the ground in order to lob up these aliens, and then you have to chuck them at the claw. However, it will only count as a hit after it has picked up Buzz in the middle. It's basically about burning Sid's quarters. However, what sounds kind of easy is not so easy in practice. If your timing is off, the claw will kind of get past you and will transport Buzz to the right side of the screen. And if Buzz gets off the screen, it's instant death. So the issue of this fight really isn't getting hurt yourself by the claw, it's really about protecting Buzz, and it's very unforgiving at that. I can give you a good hint for this bit though, except for the first hit where the claw will go a little bit to the left first. Always stay on the right side of Buzz, because that way you will have a longer time frame in which you can hit the claw before it passes you, and if the claw does pass you, it's basically over for you. It's so hard to catch up to it and still land a hit, so that will likely not work. Right now the claw is on its last hit, and we get that in as well, so it's over. I'm Gish86, this was Toy Story, and next time we will see the hell for toys, a place that no one should ever go to. Bis bald!